Hi, I'm Wayne Nunez.
And I'm Lori Wong Nunez. Welcome to Showcase Hawaii.
Now, if you ever thought of breaking into the music industry, this is the show for you.
We're excited to bring you the second in our 5-part series on Hawaii's creative industry. Now, this is co-sponsored by the Creative Industries Division of the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism.
So if you're a budding singer, songwriter, or if you want to get into producing or in the back end of music, this is the show for you. And we have some great stories coming up and great resources for you to live out your musical dreams. This segment of Showcase Hawaii is presented and co-sponsored by the Creative Industries Division of the State of Hawaii.
When I was 22, I bought a piano, that piano, and I bought a book, and it showed you, how to learn the scales on the piano. So I was like tucked in my room for about 5 months. And then I had a friend who was playing with a group called Country Comfort, and he told them, I know this piano player. They asked me to come down, bring my piano, and they liked it. And I was lucky because they'd never had a piano player before, so anything I did sounded good to them. So I ended up, after just having a piano for 5 months, I was gigging in Waikiki 5 nights a week with Country Comfort. My first night, the stage was my seat, my chair, and then my piano was set up. Well, the first note I hit, I guess my legs weren't screwed on tight. It just flipped over, and I went, and I looked at everybody, and they're all looking at me, and the place was packed, and it's like, but I don't know, when I look back at it, I should have been embarrassed and everything, but I just like, okay, get my piano, put it back and start playing. Because it was like, to me, I didn't care who was watching me. I didn't care what anybody thought. I mean, I was doing something special for me. You have to have that mindset if you're gonna go somewhere and perform. You can't be afraid to do it. So over the years, I hooked up with Mackie Fury. When Mackie Fury started the Mackie Fury band, I was actually part of the initial band. Going into recording studios with Country Comfort and with Mackie, while recording, I would always be looking into the control room and watching the engineers, and I was always interested in that. It just amazed me what they could do, take the sound and get it recorded. There's lots of opportunities, and it depends on which level you're at. That's why at a certain point I decided to diversify, engineering, producing, playing. There's people who they're great musicians, and maybe just because of the situation in Hawaii, they're in Waikiki playing tourist music, which is fine, and they're very good at it. But they want to play other types of music too, but they can't do it because they have to, make a living. And they'll ask, how can I get into to do what I'm doing? And it always goes back to, if you have the passion, you'll go and do it and stick it out. A lot of the clients don't expect to see a studio like this in Hawaii. State-of-the-art facility, it's world-class. We get artists from all over the world. When I'm talking to management or the record companies on the phone, I said, well, we're located in Hawaii Kai, make a right at McDonald's, and we're to the right of Long's Rugs. There's lots of parking. I know what they're thinking, so they don't expect it. But once they get here and they come in our front gate, and it's such a private area, and being in a shopping center, it's actually safer for them. Because here in Hawaii, we don't have people just rushing up to them. In Hawaii, people see them and go, hey, that's so-and-so. But then they'll be on their way. I think that's a big reason why they come here. Lots of people think the artists come here for vacation and do a little recording. It's the other way around. They come here to do lots of recording and maybe fit in some vacation. The clients that we've had, Dr. Dre, Kanye West, Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam, They're so professional. They all are, and the people they bring with them are professional. So if we're doing 16, 20 hours, it's, for me, time flies. We're not in a studio in LA or New York where there's no windows. You can see out into the marina. In the afternoon, they see the canoe paddlers going by. I mean, they're in Hawaii. For someone getting into the music recording business, you really gotta have passion. That's like 75% of the whole deal. I have people that come here and they want to show me what they can do. I just tell them they have to get out there. They have to get the exposure. You have to find your little, that little thing that can make you stand out from everybody else. Play anywhere. Play in front of 2 people, 5 people, 100 people. I owe a lot of it to my mom. She kind of saw that I was musically inclined, so she went and spent her money on getting a drum set. I would just take band in school so I could borrow the school's guitar amp to take home or something. And, my sister always got the piano lessons. My brother got a guitar, and I was the one who would always if they would lose interest, I would go and pick it up. A lot of people ask, I just want to come and hang out. And I would love to do that for them, but I always tell them you have to go to some kind of school or something just to learn the basics, because as far as me teaching anybody, I got taught by watching and asking questions. I still get kids that come in, but if I don't see the passion in their, can you come tomorrow? Oh no, I gotta do this. I played for Iz for a while. I produced a couple of his albums, and then he didn't have a manager, so I filled in. When I say diversify, I became like his booking agent. I became like his, manager, but not really. I would do the things that a manager would do. So you have to be open to doing whatever you can. You have to learn about the whole business. You have to learn everything. My advice to kids nowadays is, you have to have some kind of passion. It's a good thing. We have a program in Hawaii at HCC. It's called the Melee Program. I get calls from kids or kids' parents, and they ask me, well, where should I send my child, or where should I go to learn about the recording business? I'll suggest the Melee Program first, because it's here. There's recording schools out there, and it's very expensive, and a lot of people go there and then they decide that maybe that's not what they want to do.
That was a beautiful studio, and the view, I don't think you could sing a bad note when you're looking out at that
No, but I was excited to hear about all the celebrities that come to Hawaii
and pass through the doors.
I know, and they record here. How exciting is that?
It was exciting. Now, if you were always wondering if you could produce that next big song, or write that next big song, or do the technical
produce
production,
the business behind it. There's a lot that goes into becoming a star or getting that album produced.
Or the next Jay-Z. Now, we have a great story for you. And Honolulu has one of the best programs for music by far, and it rivals some of the programs on the mainland.
Right. It was extremely impressive. If you have not been out to the Honolulu Community College, you need to get there. It is amazing. And we were really also very impressed by the enthusiasm of the staff. They are so passionate about what they're doing.
And the great thing about the program, it's open to anybody, and it's extremely affordable because it is part of the community college system.
In our industry today, we have a lot of professionals that have been doing this, at a high level, 20 years, 30 years. And they'll tell you that they've had to figure out, scrape by, and try to create business. And today, with what's happening globally with entertainment and music, there are some standard ways or some proven methods that we can use to increase our percentages of being successful. Well, first of all, MELE is an acronym for Music and Entertainment Learning Experience. What we're striving to do is to educate Here at Honolulu Community College, we're fortunate enough to build a great facility, to put together faculty that has experience in the industry and is great at teaching. A student can choose either to do music, business, or engineering, or they can choose to do both. It's about building a network. So the why is, why not? Why not Hawaii? Why not people from Hawaii? Why not here? We are a melting pot, and we have so many cultures, so many different personalities and ways of life. But somehow we find a way to put it all together here on these islands. We're the hub. We want to be a safe place where we can educate, we can share, we can talk about business, we can talk about the industry without worrying necessarily about who's going to take this project and who's going to work on this project. We're set in motion here. I like to say the train is coming. Maybe I should say the boat or the canoe, but the train is coming. And it started with those who started before Mele was even here. The professionals that, again, have been working really hard to keep Hawaii competitive in this global market in video, entertainment, film. It's as easy as getting off at the bus stop on Dillingham, coming into our administration office and say, I want to be a student here at Honolulu Community College, and particularly Mele program. It's really that simple, because the mission of the college is to have an open door to a diverse population. The passion that everyone shares coming here is music. It's our bonding. It's basically the nucleus of this program is music. And if you're into music, if you play an instrument, or if you don't play an instrument, you're a DJ, you just like listening to music, we're here. We're here. And the goal here is to take that common ground and that love for music and help you to find out what it is you like about music, what it is you like about music, and how can we fit you into an industry, into a job, into projects somehow. So on the business side, we have a lot of skilled individuals who can sing, tell stories, write scripts, but how do we get it out to the world? How do we market it? How do we advertise it? How do we promote it? But first and foremost, how do we budget it? How do I know how much time I'm gonna spend in, let's say, the recording studio on a song? How much money am I gonna spend? Because time is money. This is where the business education comes in. We talk about publishing, copyrights, intellectual property, social media, and all of these things help to support artists, performance, films, stories, whatever it may be. So on the business and entertainment side of things, it's really valuable. Students get direct teaching on what really happens out there, what really happens in the industry, what are the concerns of copyrights for music, or copyrights with music going into a film. What rights do you have as a song owner or a copyright owner? We'll go through that process, and along the way, it's not just about the content that we teach. It's how we learn. It's as we network with other students with, again, the same common interests. How do we learn together? How do we have students that are already performing out in the industry? They're already writing jingles for commercial spots. And how does that apply in the classroom? That is huge, because now we grow exponentially. It's not one student learning one thing at a time. Yeah, it's each student learning at their speed, but yet networking together to throw ideas at each other. We do a lot of group work and a lot of figuring out, wait a minute, what are the components of a record label? What are the components in a company here locally of the record labels that exist here locally? So we're diving in here, with education and fundamental concepts while integrating with the community, and that's huge. On the engineering side, we dive into production. We dive into learning consoles, learning microphones. But wait a minute, with a microphone, what are we capturing? We're capturing sound. Wait a minute, what am I hearing in a room? What am I hearing in a space? What are acoustics doing to this sound? What are waveforms? It's just energy. So when I learn about sound and how we hear, my binaural hearing, I have 2 ears. How do I know where sound's coming from? If I close my eyes, hey, I know something's happening here. So these, again, are the fundamental concepts that we're teaching so that we can take that and say, okay, I know how we hear, I know how sound works. When I put a microphone in front of a sound source, an acoustic guitar, what's really happening? Beyond just guessing. Yeah, we're not guessing here. When we work in our labs, in the classroom, we are expecting something to happen. When we actually go hands-on and we turn a knob, we push up a fader, we're expecting something to happen. As Melee, we make sure that we're creating pathways so students know, hey, if I'm starting at this point, this is where I'm going. Because when we see the end result, we can take risks, we can try harder because we see it. Yeah, there's a vision there, there's a plan there. In our industry, we need the support of the community because we're not necessarily there yet. When we leave the classroom or leave our campus here at Honolulu Community College, it's where is the entertainment business? You know, who are the players? And this is what we're exposing our students to. We want them to know who's doing what. And likewise with the professional community, what are your students learning? You know, and that way we can integrate. When a student gets out here, there's no doubt they're motivated, they're energetic, you know, and they're ready to go. They're ready to do some of the things that a company or an individual who's been doing this for a lot of years has a lot of projects, so doesn't necessarily have time to do some of these little things. But as a graduate, a new graduate out of the Melee program, these little things expose you to the everyday operations of what really goes on. Melee has a relationship with DBED and the Creative Industries Division. They've been supporting us since the start here with seed monies to build a facility, to help get faculty on board. And the continuing relationship has been with film industry, the music industry, promotions, events. For example, Grammy U Soundcheck. That's where a performing artist that's affiliated or a member of the Grammys allows our Grammy U members to attend a sound check prior to the concert. So when Journey came down, our students were able to get there and not just sit there and watch, but have a Q&A. We put together 6 students that actually went to LA to go to the Grammys and were able to sit in on a sound check with our very own Bruno Mars. And that's huge. So when those things happen, when Grammy U, again, takes our exposure, not just here at the local level, but takes us to the big picture of all of this and allows students to be a part of it and to experience it. And that all enhances education.
For more about the Melee program and other music resources, check out the following websites.
And here are some more business resources to get you on your music career path. Welcome back to Showcase Hawaii, and we are featuring Hawaii's music industry.
It's been exciting learning about the back end of the music industry
It
business.
is. I might have to,
I know.
Go
sign up for some classes.
I know. I might have to be a big-time music producer. Forget this.
I know. Well, there's the whole business of the music industry, which is really fascinating. You know, how do you make that album and what goes into being an audio engineer? But for those of you who are kind of dreaming about being in front as the talent, what does it take to really develop your voice and cut that first album?
And this mentor and coach can help you do that.
Now, bo, 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 bo. I'm a vocal coach, I'm a consultant, and I'm a mentor. So the mentorship part is the part I take really seriously because I have the knowledge base to show people what to do and how to improve their voices, but I think creating the relationship that they feel they can trust me and that they're willing to take risk is really important. I studied for over 8 years with master teachers, and ultimately what I'm striving to do is help people sing very easily, very naturally, and with the more contemporary overtones that you hear, especially if people listen to a lot of radio play. Not to say that I can't help people sing other genres like classical, country, jazz, musical theater. All of those I can train if the technique is good. One of the joys I have with what I do every day is that I meet the most interesting people that I'm privileged to work with. Sometimes, especially with new clients, I never know what's going to come through the door. And I think that's the exciting part of it. I get some clients that are much older, that have been singing for years, and I have some that are just beginning. And I provide that link between what they don't know and what they can experience on an optimal level as a singer, to show them how to use their voice and how to break a lot of some of the bad habits maybe they've been holding on to for years. I absolutely think feedback is essential. There's a saying that feedback is the breakfast of champions. A lot of the times I want them to know that if you're going into something that's very competitive, very professional, and you're going to be dealing with a lot of different personalities and people, they will have expectations of you. So they need to know that it's better to prepare in advance and do as much as you can before you start putting yourself out there. But also, don't be afraid of just getting some experience. So even if you don't know everything, you should just begin. So for the aspiring singer and artist, I really believe there are different layers of success that they can achieve locally. Some of the most obvious ones are playing at hotels, some of the nice restaurants that are out here, and just keeping their chops up. They can also look at possibly doing soundtrack work, maybe doing studio work and singing jingles, because those are always available. Especially with the internet, a lot of singers here are pursuing studio production locally and just trying to make their own music using the global reach that we have. So I don't think people need to feel that going to American Idol and The Voice and X Factor are the only options to have a successful career. They can start small and work smart and sort of feel their way out in the market and stay open to markets like Korea and Japan and Europe and other niches. What I do is I always hold a yearly showcase at Easy Music Center on King Street. It's the biggest retail shop on the island, and they're awesome in allowing my students to take the stage. I'd like people to know that if they want to do something that they've never done before, or develop it so that it becomes, amazing. So singing is an art. It's a process, and so I tell people, it's like cooking in the kitchen. Really good food takes time and preparation and a lot of work. And I think you can't just do something and put it together in a couple of days or a couple of months, expecting it to be something great when you haven't invested the time, the energy, and usually the spirit to do it right. I always tell people, take your time and really try to focus on you and not worry what others are doing in the process. But you've really got to, you've got to put your feet on the ground and understand that in the world of music, it's hit or miss sometimes, but the only thing that you have is yourself and your belief and confidence in yourself.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that music segment. I know I learned something from it.
I enjoyed talking with every single person we interviewed. It was so interesting and educational.
Now, it wouldn't be Showcase Hawaii if we didn't showcase a product, and we had to keep within that music theme, and I think we found the perfect product.
I know, so for those of you who have been waiting to shop, wait no longer. We've got a great gift for yourself and also for anyone you know who may be in love with music. So it was really hard to pick, but we always pick the best for you. We've got 3 different styles of ukuleles.
The ukuleles, we have 3 different styles. We picked a style that's great for a guy, and we picked a style that's great for the gals too. Now, the gals, I think, are going to gravitate more to the plumerias, unless you're a guy who likes plumerias, then you could get one of the plumeria ones. Or if you're a guy who plays the ukulele and you wear necklaces with, a pendant, the ukulele at the slight angle, it's different.
I know, I like that. I actually
and it
like
hangs that way. It actually hangs that way.
Right, so it was interesting because each one actually dangles slightly different, where one could move a little when you're walking or moving, and then the other one just will be more of a teardrop. And I like the fact that this really is perfect for any age, and it could be for a man or a woman or a girl or a boy, and it really works for a lot of different people. And if you love music, it's great.
Now, we also are featuring the treble clef, which again, keeps with the theme of music. All the pendants come with an 18-inch sterling silver chain, and the pendants are sterling silver, the 9.25 sterling silver. So you know you're getting quality pendants, and look at that price. You can't beat the price. Again, we try and give you the best price out there. You could log on to www.showcasehawaii.tv and you could see all the styles. There's somebody in your family or circle and friends that loves music, and this is a great gift for them. And the great thing is, it's easy to ship. Well, I love doing shows like this because not only do you get to learn something, you get to buy something.
I know,
it's
and
the best of both worlds.
But I was gonna say, if you become famous because of us or this show,
We get 5%.
I know, or at least some credit, or can you at least email or call us and say thanks?
No,
or-
we get a CD or album out of it, I would think, or we get to offer it on the show. Something, you got to
I
throw us
know,
a bone.
but at least let us know, because we do want to give credit also to the Creative Industries Division of DBED. That's the Department of Business, Economic Development and Tourism, because they are wanting to help educate you and help bring awareness to all the resources that are out there to help you here in Hawaii.
And we'd like to thank Island Sound Studios. We'd like to thank the Melee Program and Cat Wong Studios. These are all great resources out there for you to take advantage of, and they're right here in your backyard here in Hawaii.
And don't forget to shop and check out our website at showcasehawaii.tv.